Nnamdi Kanu wrote IMF, World Bank, ADB over Nigerian loan requests. Leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has written a strong worded letter to the International Monetary Fund, Africa Development Bank, and the World Bank not to grant the country's request for a loan it claimed to tackle the coronavirus pandemic. The letter, which was issued to newsmen in Owerri yesterday through the media and publicity secretary of the group, Ima Powerful, also noted that the group had earlier opposed a loan from China because it excluded the Southeast from benefiting from it. Powerful stated further that they cannot vouch for the country repaying the loans, claiming that it breaches the country's constitution. If not, judiciaries will not be disbursed. On that ground, he claimed that the group is killing against the loans. They are kicking against the loans from foreign countries and banks. According to the statement, it's noteworthy that the indigenous people of Biafra was on the front line of rallying a ground smell of opposition to the loan, especially because of its proposed expenditure and the plans that excluded the southeast part of Nigeria in flagrant breach of Nigeria's constitution. We were concerned that any foreign loans obtained in breach of organic law of Nigeria would provoke a political legal backlash that will complete its payment and its repayment. And with the COVID-19 pandemic comparison diverting the attention of the world, including China, the loan seems to be on hold for now. That is well and good. But so on and so soon after Nigeria is at it again. This time, there are credible reports that it wants to take another loan from the IMF and the ADB. This is after the 2.2 billion US dollars it borrowed from the World Bank in February this year, which has not been paid back, which Nigeria forcefully claimed was for immunization and job creation, when in fact the money was shared out to the regime cronies. Further, I urging that on the international of the federal government to religiously pledge the loans to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. Kanu said that it takes loans. Then who takes loans to fight COVID-19? You don't need loans to fight a pandemic. You insist you need loan aid and global goodwill, and that is what all countries indeed are in need have replied on throughout history. The pandemic is not permanent to the point of requiring loans, and for the vanted assistance to the poor and small businesses, Nigerians are well aware that this never happens. Loans are meant to be repaid. The lenders may mean well, but Nigerians leaders don't. They won't pay back this loan, and you can take that to the bank, Nnamdi Kanu claimed. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. I think what Nnamdi Kanu said is true. They have been taking loans from world banks, from people out there, China and all of that. They even took a loan recently, this February. They have not paid back. So Nnamdi Kanu is trying to tell IMF and the World Bank never to loan Nigeria this money they're asking for, because they won't pay back. They lie that this money is what it wants to be used for the COVID-19 cure, which it's all lies. The one they collected February they said they want to use it for the poor, which they did not. Imagine that. The previous ones they collected, on what benefits? They embezzled it and shared among each other, and it was just gone like that. It went like that. Nobody questioned them, and they did not pay back. Now they want to borrow another one. Abakari has departed, facing judgment for his actions while he was alive. But these ones are still blind and deaf, still swimming in the ocean of iniquities. Judgment awaits all of them, all those that are using Nigerians, claiming and lying against Nigerians by collecting money to do something, and which is not true. They will lie that this money they are borrowing, they want to use it for the country, and at the end of the day, it will not be used. Imagine that. Nigerians are really suffering. If this government were to be good government, or government that have conscience, they would have been supporting the poor ones, and Nigerians would have been a better place. Imagine that. They are swimming in ocean of iniquities. Judgment awaits all of them. COVID-19 will deal with them one after the other. That is it. I'm not praying for them to have this COVID-19, but with the way they are treating Nigerians, with the way they are causing Nigerians pains. Boko Haram kills innocent people, and their families are lamenting. They kidnap their loved ones, and the government are doing nothing about it. If these people swear for them, or rain a curse on them, it will go to their generations of generations to their generations. It will definitely affect them. So that is it. So they are really, really, really causing pains for Nigerians. Nnamdi Kanu is right for saying all of this. Biafran is right for saying all of this. This loan that wants to be taken by Nigerians, I don't think, or I'm not buying the idea. And I'm very much sure that with what Nnamdi Kanu has written to IMF and the World Bank, and it said he made his claim for doing that, then I see, and I'm very much sure that they will not be giving this loan. Buhari, Nnamdi Kanu knows what he's saying. He's trying to expose this government because they have been lying against Nigerians, the citizens. They have been lying that they want to use this money to take care of the poor ones, but nothing happened. So why would they keep collecting such a money from people, from countries, and they're not using it for the purpose of why they are collecting the money for? Imagine that. So this is a debt. Will Nigerians live on debt? Must we keep borrowing money here and there? Must Buhari keep borrowing money here and there? Buhari is just a money lender, borrower. Imagine that. Why must they keep collecting money, borrowing money, and at the end of the day, they will not pay for this money? Imagine that. That is it. Kanu is right because Nigerian government has nothing to pay back apart from the mineral resources from Biafran land. Imagine that. Imagine that. So, with what Nnamdi Kanu has said, with what Nnamdi Kanu has written to the IMF and World Bank, because he has conscience. He has conscience. That is why he's telling these people never to lend Nigeria this money. And this China, and these people that are lending them money, they know what they are doing. If they don't pay back, they know how to get the money back. That is it. So the Nigerians government are not aware. They are not reasonable. They are senseless. What if these people want to collect their money, but how would they give them back? Do you know that they will give them conditions? They might even say, let them sell all the country, Nigeria, to them to replace this money. Where would they go to? Imagine that. They don't reason before they do things. They don't reason before they do things. Imagine that. With what Nnamdi Kanu has been saying, repeating this all over and over again, I think they should be doing this to save Nigerians from collapsing. Should be doing this to save Nigerians from dying. Because if it keeps shutting up and covering for them, then Nigeria will not be a better place. Nigeria will keep keep on suffering the way it has been, or the way they have been suffering. So viewers, what is your take on this news? Drop your comment below the comment box. Click on the subscribe button as well as the bell button to receive updates whenever I publish new videos. And don't forget, share and like this news as well. Thank you.